Hello everyone, I welcome all of you in my first online class of heat and mass transfer. This is Vivek Bahadur Shrestha. I'm an assistant professor in Applied Engineering Department in Vignan's Foundation for Science, Technology and Research University. I'd like to express my gratitude to the organization to give me such, privilege of throwing my lecture on online class. So this heat and mass transfer subject is very vast subject actually, practically if we say, and there are so many scopes available in heat and mass transfer. If after 4 years of BTech, if you want to crack GATE or if you want to sit any competitive exams, you might find some subjects like thermodynamics is there, or you might find heat and mass transfer in your syllabus. So all these, concept, will be discussed in this particular subject, heat and mass transfer. So I'll explain each and every concept very easily or very thoroughly. Very deeply I explain this concept in my online classes. So if you read or if listen to this or if you stick to these online classes hard, then I'm very much sure that after this end of the session you'll be gaining the knowledge of heat and mass transfer, each and every concept, and you'll be able to solve the numericals which comes in GATE exam or in any competitive exams. So uh, you stay tuned with this online classes very hard, and so let's start the classes then. So here we have the course description and objectives. So you can see the course deals with basics of heat and mass transfer properties of material, and applications of different heat transfer process in various food engineering aspect. Then the objective of this course is to enable student to analyze heat as well as mass transfer and the phenomena that takes place during food processing. Next comes the course outcomes. So in course outcomes, first you have the basic engineering systems, application of mode of heat transfer in designing of various heat exchanger equipments. Then you have analyzed different new technology which are introduced in industries, develop and design different components of dryer and freezer with concept of heat and mass transfer. Next, you have some details of units. So I think there are total 5 units available. So right now we'll be starting our journey with the first unit. So from first unit to fifth unit, the topics are described here. So I'll just read the topics. Unit 1, you have basics and conduction of heat transfer, introductory concept, modes of heat transfer, properties related to heat transfer, thermal conductivity of materials, measurement, one-dimensional steady-state heat conduction through plane wall, tubes and spheres without heat generation, electrical analogy, and its application for thermal circuits. In Unit 2, you have insulation and convection heat transfer, insulation materials, critical thickness of insulation, rectangular and circular fins, fins with equation of temperature distribution and heat loss to atmosphere, effectiveness and efficiency of fins. Then you have free and forced convection. Then you have Newton's law of cooling, heat transfer coefficient in convection, dimensional analysis of free and forced convection, useful non-dimensional numbers and empirical relationships for free and forced convection to determine heat transfer coefficient. So coming to our next slides, we have here Unit 3. In Unit 3, we have radiation heat transfer, heat radiation, emissivity, absorptivity, reflectivity, transmissivity of radiation, black body, and monochromatic radiation. Planck's constant, Stephen Boltzmann law, Kirchhoff's law, gray body, and emissive power. Solid angle, intensity of radiation, radiation exchange between black surface, and geometric configuration factor or safe factor. And the fourth unit, we have heat exchanger, cell and tube heat exchanger, plate heat exchanger, counter flow, co-current flow, heat exchanger, fouling factor, log mean temperature difference, heat exchanger performance, number of transfer units, heat exchanger design, heat exchanger analysis to restricted to parallel and counter flow heat exchanger, application of heat exchanger in different food and dairy industry. In the last unit, we have mass transfer, steady state, molecular diffusion in fluids at rest and in laminar flow, Fick's law, mass transfer coefficient, mass diffusivity, Reynolds analogy, equimolar diffusion, isothermal evaporation of water into air, application in dairy and food industry. So these are all the topics which are available or which are given in your units or in the heat and mass transfer subject. So before beginning the first unit, I'd like to say that you please stick to the online class very hard. You listen each and every word which I say. Try to understand the concept. So after completing this course, you will be able to solve any kind of numericals which is related to heat and mass transfer. If you open any gate paper or any gate question paper or any competitive exam, if you find any heat and mass transfer related questions, then without wasting time you can solve any type any kind of problem. So that's why I request you, please listen each and every words which I say in this particular subject. So before I start this heat and mass transfer, we have to clear some concept. So first we will be studying only the heat transfer, okay? And after completing the heat transfer, we will start the mass transfer. Now let's focus on the heat transfer. So why this heat transfer occurs, or what is this heat? Heat is nothing but the energy. Heat is nothing but energy which flows from one direction to another direction. Now the question comes, why the heat will flow from one direction to another direction? Yes, heat flows because of the temperature difference. Now let's take one example. You hold one very hot rod. Okay, you are holding one hot rod. Then what do you feel? You feel that heat, right? You feel the heat of rod if you hold the hot rod. Now then at that time what happens? So at that time the temperature of the hot rod and the temperature of your body or temperature of the hand is not same. So that's why you feel, that's why the heat flows from temperature of hot rod to your body. So that's why you feel the heat of the hot rod. That means always you remember, heat flows from high temperature to low temperature. In any type of generalized idea, you remember always the flow occurs from high to low gradient. Pressure also high to low pressure, temperature also high to low temperature, always high concentration to low concentration, high density to low density. So always the generalized flow occurs from high to low gradient. Okay, so let's start here. The basic concepts is given in temperature. So what is temperature? This is nothing but an intensive property that indicates thermal state of system or body. That means how much heated. The temperature will identify or will give you the idea the temperature of the body or a thermal state of the body, that it is cooled or it is heated. Okay. It is the measure of internal energy in form of heat will flow from which to which direction. That means the heat may flow from high to low or heat may flow from low to high. So that idea will be given by temperature. If the temperature of one body is very high and temperature of another body is very low, then heat flows from high temperature body to low temperature body. Now next is units. So there are several units are there of temperature. One you already very much familiar, degree Celsius, or we can say Celsius scale. So in Celsius scale, the freezing point of water, you know already, yes, it is 0 degree Celsius, and boiling point of water, yes, it is 100 degree Celsius. Now in Kelvin scale, the freezing point of water is 273 Kelvin and the boiling point of water is 373 Kelvin. And in degree Fahrenheit scale, the freezing point of water is, yes, you know, 32 degree Fahrenheit and the boiling point of water is 212 degree Fahrenheit. Yes. Now here one formula is given. The relation is given between Kelvin and Celsius. So we already are familiar with this formula. Kelvin equals to degree Celsius plus 273. So in this formula, if you have the value of Kelvin, then you can calculate the value of degree Celsius, or you have the value of Celsius, then you can calculate the value in Kelvin. Now one question is given that convert 5 Kelvin into degree Celsius. So how you are going to solve this problem? So first we'll write the formula, the relation between Kelvin and Celsius. So what is the relation between Kelvin and Celsius? Kelvin equals to degree Celsius plus 273. Now the value of Kelvin, how much is given? 5. So in left hand side I place it 5 equals to degree Celsius plus 273. So ultimately degree Celsius is coming 5 minus 273, that means minus 268 is the conversion of 5 Kelvin into degree Celsius. Now another one formula is given here, the relation between Celsius and Fahrenheit. So here the formula, you remember already, I think you are very much familiar with this formula. C by 5 equals to F minus 32 by 9. So here what is this C? C is called as degree Celsius, and what is this F called? F is called as degree Fahrenheit. So the formula is C by 5 equals to F minus 32 by 9. Remember this formula. So the question is given one, convert 5 degree Celsius into degree Fahrenheit. So how you are going to solve this? So first we have to remember the relation between Celsius and Fahrenheit. So the relation is C by 5 equals to F minus 32 by 9. Now the value of C is given how much? 5. So if I place the value of 5 in C, then it comes 5 by 5 equals to F minus 32 by 9. So if you solve this equation, so in the left hand side it comes 1 and the right hand side F minus 32 by 9. So if I cross multiply, the value of F comes 41 degree Fahrenheit. So the conversion value of 5 degree Celsius into Fahrenheit is 41 degree Fahrenheit. Now comes the heat. So already we have discussed the temperature. What is temperature? Temperature is nothing but a property which indicates the thermal state of body or thermal state of system, that it is how much heated or how much cooled. That means the heat will flow from this direction to this direction or that direction to that direction. Means it will just give you the way that heat flows from which direction to which direction. Now what is this heat? So heat is form of energy which is transient in nature and it flows from one point to another point depending on temperature gradient. That means depending on temperature, high temperature to low temperature, heat flows. So after some time, the temperature becomes equal of two different bodies. So that you remember the example. So what I said, you take one hot rod and the hot rod you hold with your hand. So the temperature of hand and temperature of hot rod both are not same. So after some time you feel hot. Why do you feel that? So temperature of the hot rod is more than temperature of body. Yes. So because of this generalized thing, heat flows from hot rod to hand. Now if the heat flows from hot rod to hand, that means gradually the hot rod loses energy and gradually the hand will collect energy or hand absorb energy. So if the hand absorb energy, the temperature of hand will start to increase. Whereas if the hot rod loses energy, the temperature of the hot rod will start to go down, will start to bring down, will start to decrease. So if it continues, after some time the temperature of the hot rod and temperature of the hand will become equilibrium or will become same. So at that point there is no temperature gradient. You see, at that point temperature of the hot rod and temperature of the hand is both are same. So there is no temperature difference between hot rod and hand. So that's why there will be no heat flow. So that's why until the temperature difference is there, heat will flow from one direction to another direction. And the next one, thus heat flow stops. So the unit of heat we know that joule and calorie. So SI unit we say joule and CGS unit we say calorie. So what we can write joule? Joule means we can write watt multiply second. So watt means also we can try in joule per second. So that's why we can write the value of joule into equals to watt into second. And the value of calorie, 1 calorie equals to 4.18 joule. Remember this conversion. 1 calorie equals to 4.18 joule. Now we come to this heat transfer and thermodynamics. So thermodynamics and heat transfer both are very similar. There is a very identity or relationship is there between thermodynamics and heat transfer. But still there is a fundamental difference, because in thermodynamics we mainly concern about the work done, and whereas in heat transfer we mainly concern about the heat transfer. So you see here, thermodynamics and heat transfer are related to each other, but fundamental difference between thermodynamics and heat transfer are present, which are thermodynamics, it's a science which deals with equilibrium states and change from one state to another. In heat transfer, it is a non-equilibrium phenomena when thermal equilibrium is disturbed. That means when the temperature of the two bodies is not same, then that point heat transfer occurs. And in thermodynamics, it's a science about amount of heat transfer, and in heat transfer it is the rate as well as mode of heat transfer, means in which mode heat transfer occurs. So that we will discuss later. Next, in thermodynamics it deals with amount of work done, and in heat transfer it deals with the temperature distribution inside a body. Next comes the mode of heat transfer. So now we will be discussing about the modes or the way of heat transfer. So till now we discussed what is heat transfer. Heat transfer is nothing but the moving the heat or moving heat energy from one place to another place due to the temperature difference. So if the temperature of one body is more than temperature of another body, then high temperature to low temperature heat flow occurs. Now there are several modes or there are several way of heat transfer. So which are it? Yes, it's very true. Conduction, convection and radiation. So why conduction? Conduction means if the medium is solid. If the medium is solid, that means the mode of heat transfer will be conduction. So I gave you one example, you remember, hot rod and hand. So from hot rod to hand, the heat flow occurs in the medium of what? Tell me. Suppose you have one hot rod and you are holding the hot rod with your hand or with finger. So you see the temperature of the hot rod is very high and temperature of the hand is not that much or is not high. So that's why the temperature difference, heat will flow from hot rod to hand. So you see the medium is the solid. The solid is the medium. So that's why this is called conduction. Next, you remember another one example, convection. Another one mode is convection. So convection means in this case, if the medium is liquid or if the medium is gas, in that case convection heat transfer occurs. Okay. Suppose you say, for example, you have one hot rod and you have the hand. Now in this case you don't touch the hot rod with hand, you keep some distance. So in that case, still will you feel any hot or will you feel any heat from the hot rod? Yes, you will feel. Why? Because there is temperature difference from hot rod to the hand. So that's why heat will flow from hot rod to temperature. Now how does it, how it occurs? It occurs with the help of the medium. Now you say in this particular example, you don't touch the hot rod, but the medium here is air. Ambient air is the medium. So in that case, the ambient air will carry the heat from hot rod to hand. So that's why the mode of heat transfer in this case is convection. So convection is the convection, the medium is liquid or gas, and in radiation there is no need of medium. There is no need of medium is your radiation. So the example is from sun to earth. There is no medium. There is no medium present between sun and earth. Still, you feel the hot. If you stay in the sunshine or if you stay outside, because in this case radiation heat transfer occurs. So these are the three modes of heat transfer: conduction, convection and radiation. So you see here, heat transfer is the study of transmission of thermal energy from high temperature to low temperature on account of temperature difference. Rate of heat transfer is proportional to temperature difference. Means if there is more temperature difference, there will be more heat transfer. And mainly three modes of heat transfer occurs. Tell me. Yes, conduction, convection, radiation. So conduction, the medium is solid. The medium is solid. Convection, the medium is air. See the gap between hot rod and hand, that is air. So medium is liquid or gas, and in radiation there is no need of medium. Now comes the conduction. So before I start this conduction, I would like to give one example. So you do one thing, you take two positions. One is at that place, another one is at that place. So at this place you stay here, and at this place you keep some stones or some bricks, anything, you keep one object at this place. Now from this place to this place, if you want to move the object from here to there, then how do you move it? So how do you move? So that moving the object, that also occurs in conduction. So how does it happen? So you take the example. Now you stay here, okay? So at this point you keep your friends. You keep the friends along with the line of yours. So here you have, here your friends, like this, and then the destination. So in this case, what you do, you take the object and you just transfer the object to your friend's hand. Another next time, the friends, he will collect the object from you and he will move it, or he will give it back to the next person. So like this, if we transfer the object, so gradually the object moves from here to there. So that's why in this case I can relate with conduction. Now how this conduction? So this place is high temperature, this place is low temperature, and the friends or the me or whoever was present at that situation, those are the molecules of solid. Those are the molecules of solid, and whatever the object you are moving from here to there, that is the heat or energy. So you see here in conduction mode, the solid medium convey or transfer the energy from one place to another place. How? Because of the molecules. So in solid materials, the molecules are very closely packed. Okay, the molecules are very tightly packed. So if any temperature difference is there, then the molecules, they vibrate. So if one molecule vibrate, okay, then the next molecule also will start to vibrate. Again the next molecule will start to vibrate. So with the vibration of the molecules collect the energy from one place to another place. So that's why in these solid materials, conduction mode of heat transfer occurs. So what is this? Heat transfer from high temperature to low temperature region within body or between different body which are in direct physical contact. Due to exchange of molecular kinetic energy, heat is transferred. Temperature is proportional to kinetic energy of constituent molecule. Temperature causes increase in kinetic energy compared to that adjacent molecules. Energy is transferred to adjacent one. It continues till temperature of two different body reaches same, and it occurs through only solid body. So these are my conduction. So in conduction, you remember the heat occurs through solid materials, and in solid materials the molecules are very closely attached or closely closely attached. So that's why if the molecules start to vibrate because of the temperature difference, the next molecule will start to vibrate and it will collect the materials from the previous materials or previous molecules. So like this, it will gradually collect energy and it transferred throughout. So that's why this is the conduction mode of heat transfer. Now in conduction mode of heat transfer, you remember one formula is there, Fourier's law of heat conduction. Fourier's law of heat conduction, the formula is Q equals to minus K into A into dt dx. Q equals to minus K A dt dx. Okay, remember this formula. So here you see the Q is heat, amount of heat flow or heat flow rate, and the unit is joule per second. That's why I can write it in watt, joule per second or watt. Next, minus sign is used. Why? Because heat flows from high temperature to low temperature. So gradually it occurs from high quality to low quality. That's why minus sign is used. Next, K is called as thermal conductivity, and the unit of thermal conductivity is watt per meter Kelvin. A is called as cross-sectional area, and dt by dx is called temperature gradient, where dt is the temperature difference and dx is the thickness of the solid product or thickness of the solid body through which heat transfer occurs, and the unit of this is Kelvin per meter. And another one thing you remember, the thermal conductivity I can write like this: if through 1 unit thickness, if 1 unit cross-sectional area, the amount of heat transfer because of the 1 unit temperature difference will be known as thermal conductivity. Okay, if 1 unit thickness from 1 unit thickness of 1 unit area, if the amount of heat transfer occurs through solid body because of 1 unit temperature difference is known as thermal conductivity, and the unit of thermal conductivity is watt per meter Kelvin. So here I'd like to finish the today's class, today's first online class. I won't go further. So in this class we particularly discussed about heat and temperature. So what is heat? Heat is nothing but the energy which flows from one direction to another direction. And why it flows? Because of the temperature. If there is temperature difference between two bodies, then temperature, from high temperature to low temperature, heat flow occurs, and until and unless the temperature of the two body becomes equal, that time heat flow will be continued. Okay, so at this point what happens? The temperature of the high temperature of the body will reduced and low temperature of the body will be increased, because the body which will have high temperature will be start to lose energy and will be start to losing the temperature also, and the low temperature body will start to gain energy and they will increase its temperature. So at that point, after some time, the temperature becomes equal and the heat transfer will be stopped. So in the temperature we have seen there are units: Celsius, Kelvin, Fahrenheit. Celsius, 0 degree Celsius is the freezing point of water, boiling point of water. 100 degree Celsius, freezing point of water in degree Fahrenheit is 32 degree Fahrenheit and in boiling point of water 212 degree Fahrenheit. In Kelvin scale, the freezing point of water is 273 Kelvin and boiling point of water is 373 Kelvin. And the relation between Celsius and Kelvin is Kelvin equals to 273 plus C, and the relation between Celsius and Fahrenheit is C by 5 equals to F minus 32 by 9. And then we discussed about the mode of heat transfer. In mode of heat transfer we found there is 3 modes: conduction, convection and radiation. In conduction mode of heat transfer, the heat transfer occurs through solid body, because in solid body the molecules are very closely packed. So that's why if there is any temperature difference or any disturbance of temperature, then heat flow occurs from high temperature to low temperature through solid medium. So the molecules of the solid will start to vibrate because of temperature difference, and if the molecules of solid materials is vibrate, then the next molecule also will start to vibrate. So like this, gradually all the molecules of the solid will start to vibrate, adjacent molecules, and they convey or they transfer the heat from high temperature to low temperature place. So this is the mode of conduction heat transfer. And in conduction heat transfer formula, in one formula is there, Fourier's law of heat conduction. The formula is Q equals to minus K A dt by dx. So what is Q? Heat transfer flow rate, minus, because my high temperature to low temperature heat transfer occurs, K thermal conductivity, A is the cross sectional area, and dt by dx is called as temperature gradient, or in unit Kelvin per meter. So this much we discussed today. Okay, so okay, thank you.